Hello, so let's start our case interview about operational optimization. I will give you some details about our clients. Our client is a large retailer. They would like to add a self-checkout station to their stores. They have asked us to help them determine if this is a good idea. If it is, they want to know how much it will cost and whether expected saving will be.
All right, I get it. Your client is a huge retailer and they want to add self-checkout station to their establishment. So we need to determine whether this is a good idea. If it is, they want to know how much it will cost and how much they will save. Okay, and I think because investment costs are quite large, so our client will consider the payback time when they decide to invest in this system. Can you give me some details about their requirements?
Certain, our clients will only invest if there is 2-year payback excluding discount. In addition, their main target is to reduce cost and increase profit. They don't want to lose customers due to this new system.
Oh, yes, they want to increase profit. So I want to know whether they care about potential revenue benefits, such as increased store traffic. Apart from that, can you give me some information about their scale so that I can specify their current business situation?
Yes, you can ignore some potential revenue benefits. Regarding their scale, they have about 900 stores across the country in total with $20 billion annual revenue. But you need to remember they have almost no experience with checkout stations.
Okay, 900 stores and $20 billion, right? As you
Yes,
mentioned, your client is a large retailer, so I suppose they don't face many obstacles in terms of capital when investing. I assume that they are not bound by the amount of capital they have to spend on this new system. Okay.
yes.
Yeah, I got the main points of the situation as follows. They focus on cutting down on the cost and increasing the profit, but don't want to lose customers. Investment condition is a 2 years payback. Regarding their scale, they have 900 stores and $20 billion revenue per year. Besides, they have very little expertise with self-service checkout station. So can you give me about a minute to set up my mind and I will give you exactly framework.
Okay.
Okay, to evaluate whether they should invest in this system or not, I will rely on trends in cost and revenue. If the total amount they save by cutting costs in 2 years is greater than the investment, they will receive this saving then, and they should invest. Turning on impact on costs, I suppose I need to consider how much money they save per year with this new device, and if it meets the payback period requirement to calculate it, I will determine the current cost structure and cost for gas stations. With the current cost structure, I think the most effective cost is labor cost because when installing the self-checkout system, the number of staffs at the checkout counters will definitely be much reduced. Plus, the amount to be paid to them is also less. Can you give me some information about it?
Sure. Their stores operate on 2 shifts. Each one lasts 8 hours, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and 4 p.m. to midnight. The average store has 16 cashier per shift. Their salary is $10 per hour. You can ignore overtime, benefits, so on and so forth, because these amounts are insignificant in the total cost.
And I understand. After deducting vacation days, I estimate that employees will work 350 days per year, and the flow of customers is constant. Move to require investment. I want to know the cost for each of these checkout stations.
Our retailer has to pay $50,000 for a machine. This includes installation,
Okay, I think when using these machines, they will need annual maintenance to ensure that the machines are always in good condition to serve their customers. What about the maintenance cost?
You can ignore them.
Okay, and the second factor we need to consider for this decision is how the utilization of this machine affects the business, the level of influence on the customer experience or buying decision. Current clients are now used to paying with the cashiers, so I think we need to consider the situations that these machines would be inconvenient for a number of customers. They would be persistent in refusing to use.
Yeah, as our survey, about 10% of customers would not use the machine. And if they don't have another choice, they're ready to shop elsewhere.
Okay, I got it. 10% of customers. And if customer buys a large number of items, they would prefer paying with the cashier to paying by themselves. Self-payment of large quantity of goods takes time, and sometimes it's quite annoying.
Yes, I agree with you. An empirical research shows that when buying more than 15 items, customers prefer a cashier, and this applies to 15% of checkouts. This figure is based on other retailers, and you can apply in our case.
Okay, 15% of customers buying book orders prefer cashiers. Another case when a payment machine is not suitable is when a customer purchases a large item. When the package is lack, self-checkout becomes difficult and can be frustrating for customers. If we do not have a reasonable adjustment, it is easy to lose customers and reduce revenue. For retail stores, there are not many large and bulky items, so I assume that the volume of customers buying bulky was to account for about 5%.
Yes, 5% is reasonable number.
The self-checkouts can cause frustration and confusion if they are not user-friendly and if customers aren't used to technology. There can be a learning curve with mobile ordering tables and kiosks, and some customers may always prefer face-to-face service payment.
You can assume that there are no learning curve effects in this case. I mean, learning curve of customer affects our retailer trivially.
So I can ignore this when calculating the level of effect of the new machine.
Yeah,
All right, I would clarify some outstanding points about this case. Each working day consists of 2 shifts, and each shift is 8 hours and needs 16 cashiers. The salary is $10 an hour. We assume that the year consists of 350 working days. What the cost of a payment machine is $50,000 and ignore the maintenance cost. And 10% of customers definitely don't use the payment machine. 15% of customers will buy in bulk. 5% of customers, according to my private assumption, that by large size would prefer to pay with a cashier.
exactly.
So can you give me a few seconds to calculate and analyze this data?
Definitely.
Okay, so 10% of customers wouldn't use payment machines. 15% plus 5%, so 20% prioritize direct payment because of orders. So a total of 30% will not use the new machine. So in order not to lose customers by this initiative, we need to maintain the certain amount of cashiers to meet their requirements. So we need 30% of 16 cashiers ship equals 5 cashiers. Then the number of self-checkout machines to install is 16 minus 5 equal 11 machines. And a cashier can oversee 4 machines. So we need 3 people to keep 11 machines running. To sum up, we need to install 11 machines and maintain 5 plus 3 equals 8 cashiers. So we will cut 8 cashiers with the installation of 11 self-checkout machines.
Save 8 cashier per shift and install 11 more machines. So how much is the total investment and do you think this is a reasonable investment?
Yeah, a new initiative initiative to make the store run more smoothly and efficiently is definitely a good idea. But certainly we need to calculate specifically how much the investment in the machine will cost and how long it can be refunded. To be able to consider it as a good idea, we need to install 11 machines with the cost of 50,000 each. So 11 times 50 equals $550,000. That's right, $550,000 invested in installing self-checkout machines for a store. As previously mentioned, we have 900 stores nationwide, equivalent to $550,000 times 900 equals. So we have $495 million for nationwide. And then we can cut 8 cashiers per shift and multiply by 8 hours per shift, multiply by $10 per hour and $640 per shift. So a day a store will save 640 times 2 equals $1,280 a day. Assuming there are 350 days in a year, then a year a store will cut about $450,000. With 900 stores, our client will save $405 million a year. And from that, I calculate the payback period as the amount of investment divided by the expected savings, equivalent to 550,000 divided by 450,000 or 1.2 years, which is about 15 months. Let me summarize. The customer needs to spend $495 million to install the self-checkout system. This is not a small number, but if installed, they will save an attractive amount of $405 million in a year. So within 15 months, they can pay back.
Payback in only 15 months, thus meeting the client 2-year payback requirement. Is this a good investment decision?
Yeah, I think so. A major operational optimization initiative, which takes only 15 months to pay back, is actually a rather short payback period, although the initial investment is quite large. With an annual turnover of $20 billion, they have no capital constraint. I think it is an intelligent investment with long-term benefits.
Yeah, it's really a good idea. Now, what gonna you talk to our client to persuade them to invest on this initiative?
Oh yeah, in order to best serve customer and not lose customer, I suggest that 8 cashiers should be maintained and 11 self-checkout machines installed. If we can invest a large amount from the beginning, we can get payback in 15 months and save a lot of money by cutting staff every year. As a large chain of retail stores nationwide with high traffic and multiple locations, self-checkouts can make operation easier for business. Besides, we need to pay attention to some possible risk. Self-checkout machines can be difficult to use, or checkout errors can disrupt the customer experience. The shop needs regular maintenance and inspection and has a machine repair team available. And in addition, it is necessary to anticipate and prevent cases of theft and trick in payment. Self-checkout kiosks can be easily tricked, and by stretching backwards, weighing expensive items and cheaper ones, or simply placing an item into the bag without scanning it, even accidentally. I mean, maybe the customer didn't intentionally cheat, but sorry, they forgot to pay for some items.
Okay, I appreciate your idea. I think you have logical thinking and good problem solving skills. You have a great interview.
Oh, thank you.